have a property tour, shall we? Bryan Lebo here, and we have a very special Blue Heron home today. This is one of their newest releases, which is called Egress, which is part of their Elite Luminary Collection. And this is unlike any Blue Heron home I've seen before, and I'm excited to share this one with you. So like we normally do, we're gonna start off in the kitchen, but first we're gonna talk about the flooring. The entire main floor of this whole home consists of 24 by 48 inch porcelain tile, and it is sensational, it's modern, it's what you see in most of these homes, but check out this kitchen. This kitchen is incredible. Now, we normally start off with the island, so let's start off discussing this island because this is a little bit different than what we normally see. So obviously we have the obligatory waterfall return in every modern home design, and this is just a little bit different. Part of what makes this home so unique is that it's very angular. So you're gonna see more 45-degree angles than 90-degree angles like we normally are used to. So here, it's sensational, right? We have seating for 4 here at the bar stool. We have this beautiful quartzite matte finish, but even below the counter surface, it's wrapped in that same quartzite. So really, really, really wonderfully fabricated, very monolithic. Love what they did here with this island. Now coming over into the proper kitchen area, now we stair step down into a different counter surface. So here we have this leathered marble counter surface, which is so rich and regal. Everywhere throughout this home, you're going to see integrated electrical. So right here, you can see this pop-up. Really nice, so you don't have those unsightly electrical outlets everywhere, either on the surface or on the back side of it. Over here, I gotta hit you with the ooh-ah sound. Ooh, ah. So here we have our Wolf built-in microwave. Really important if you do have children, so that way they're not reaching and grabbing, a warm bowl of something out of the microwave. Much safer, much better. Coming down here a little bit farther, we have our undermount Blanco sink. Beautiful, beautiful. And you know what time it is, guys. You know what time it is. We gotta talk dishwashers. $10.8 million. You better have more than one dishwasher. All right, sorry. We only have one dishwasher in this kitchen. Trust me, there's more coming. But we do have our Cove dishwasher. Beautiful, everything's wonderful, like it should be. Perfect sight line to see the television when you are behind the sink here in the kitchen. But let's pivot over to this side. So, I'm sorry for the pot filler people out there. I don't care about the pot filler. It's that close. It's literally a nice little workout pivot. But we do have this beautiful matching leathered marble. And here you can see the book matching. It's sensational. And wouldn't that be marred with an unsightly pot filler? But we do have our professional Wolf 48-inch grill top, and we do have our matching 48-inch ventilation hood. And here it's been sheathed in all the cabinetry that you're gonna see in the kitchen and throughout the property. Wonderful. Again, we have our embedded electrical into the counter surface. And this is one thing that I wanna discuss. And I wanna see your comments because I wanna see what you guys think. This is a little unique. Now, a lot of times we have those monolithic 4-inch edge profiles. You're gonna see 6-inch, 3.5-inch throughout the property. On the sink side here, they did a 45-inch mitered fabricated edge profile. So here you have about a 2-inch edge profile. But on the back side here, more European. So this is a native. So this is 20 centimeters thick. This is just the native slab. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer a thicker edge profile or the more European naked style? No right or wrong, I just want to hear what you guys think. Now we're gonna come down and work our way forward with the cabinetry. On this side of the island, we do have 2 more bar stool seating. Maybe someone could be at the point. But again, you can see this real triangular island. It's very unique and perfectly in line with the shapes of this home. Now, starting over here, we have our TFL cabinetry throughout. This one's kind of neat. We do have Cat 6 inputs right here. So if you do have any smart devices and you don't want to rely on Wi-Fi, you can put them in the cabinetry. Over here, we have our matching Sub-Z refrigeration. So 50-50 split. On the left side, we have the freezer. On the right side, basic refrigeration. And then over here, we have our set of Wolf appliances. So we have our double ovens. And at the very bottom, we have our warming drawer. So perfect, perfect. But if you're living in a $10.8 million home like this, which is so wonderful for entertaining, you're gonna have some parties, you're gonna have some soirees. I was here last Thursday for Blue Heron's unveiling of this property, and this was packed. This was awesome. They had sushi chefs. They had everything you would want for a soiree, and everyone was kind of relegated in here. It was bustling. It was going crazy. So here we have our chef's kitchen area. So we have another refrigerator, you know, on the poor end of the spectrum. You know, we used to call this the beer fridge. Not anymore. This is the chef's prep refrigerator. And then this I love. So right here, we have your appliance garage. How about that? So we have electrical. So for any of those unsightly appliances that you just cannot bear to put on display, you can keep them tucked away and still plugged in. One neat feature is you can also, they put in a pocket slider here. So again, if you do have an event and you don't want people seeing the help working back here, you can keep this pocket slider closed and segregate the area. Really neat. Now, coming a little bit farther, at the very back here, we have a beautiful built-in pantry area, sensational. And then over here, again, no one's really gonna see this, but we still have that leathered marble counter surface extended into the backsplash. Wonderful. And guess what, guys? In case you're cheating, our second dishwasher. And I'm gonna tell you, this isn't the last dishwasher you're gonna see in this house, but we do have two. We have integrated trash, wonderful. And then we do have our prep oven. So here you have our built-in Wolf oven. So that's really, really neat. Okay, now that we've seen the kitchen, now we gotta check out, I know you guys have been cheating. I know you guys have been waiting for this moment, but we have to check out the family room area. And of course, you know, what's the name of this property? We've got to check out this indoor-outdoor activity. So over here, the elephant in the room that I'm sure you guys have been looking at, over here, we have this incredible slider system, which allows you for perfect ingress and egress, which is the name of the property. So here we have a 23-foot slider that extends all the way to the end, and then we have a 90-degree return. Actually, it's 21 feet and then 10 feet. So just incredible. And on a day like today where it's a beautiful, beautiful sky, clear views, absolutely wonderful. Now, in this main living space area, we have double height ceilings with clear sky windows. So you can actually see the sky. It lets in a ton of natural light. It's just a wonderful, wonderful space. Over here, we have a beautiful tile wall for the media. So this is a really modern, elegant wall. I believe this is a limestone tile. Below, we have this incredible natural fireplace with shattered black glass. Just gives it a real warm, rich tone. And then to avoid anything being too cold, and kind of like, this reminds me of a 70s throwback remix. A lot of what you're gonna see kind of reminds me of a lot of 70s vibes, but completely reimagined. So above us, you'll see on the left side, we have smoked glass reflecting all that light coming off of those windows. And we have a wood veneer accent wall above the media wall. So really, really beautiful. And again, this is an architecturally significant home. This is Blue Heron at its very, very best and pushing the limits of modern design. Now this area I really love. You guys gotta tell me what you think. You know, the 70s, we had sunken living rooms, sunken living spaces, conversation pits. This is kind of the idea, but in the opposite and reimagined. So I love that this dining space is actually elevated. From this dining table, you have absolute strip views. So this would be wonderful for an intimate dinner with friends. But Blue Heron, they're pioneers of biophilic design, which is bringing the natural landscape outdoors inside the dwelling space. And this is a perfect example of what you're gonna find. So here we have these planter boxes embedded into the platform for the dining room. So we have agave plants, we have our rocks. It's really, really neat to bring into the space. So over here, we transition from the porcelain 48-inch by 24 tile into the wood. And then again, we have this incredible planter box. Just an incredible space. And even below here at the entry, we have our pivot door. And you can see the rocks from outside seem to seamlessly blend right into the house, the dwelling space, another planter box. I love this design from Blue Heron. It's one of my favorite features that they do. Now, this is a really incredible area. We're gonna get to this office, which is over here to the right in a moment, but right here, if we stop, This is a beautiful area. So we have an outdoor space with artificial turf, and this perfectly frames the entire Las Vegas Strip. I can see Mandalay Bay all the way down to the stratosphere, all in one clip. It is the most incredible sightline. We're gonna comment on that again when we get to the den. But this is a really, really cool area. So check out the lounge. This is one of the coolest features of this entire home, maybe my favorite of all. So this was great for the event. This is a really cool, intimate space. So we start off in this bar area. So we have seating for, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just on this return side. So we have a quartz counter surface with a matte finish. We have a marble veneer on the curtain side. And then coming around, just an incredible, incredible space. We have more of this matte, or I should say leathered marble counter surface. Plenty of cabinetry. Over here, we have an ice maker, and guys, dishwashers. Here is your third dishwasher. Love this. This is the Fisher Paykel drawer dishwasher. Had these years ago. Perfect for a bar area where you only need to wash a few items, and there's actually 2. So technically we say this has 4 dishwashers. Okay. Have it as you will. We have the undermount Blanco sink denoting the wet bar. Again, more cabinetry. And I love this wall over here. So while we have custom shelves, we also have downfiring illumination. So really beautiful to illuminate and accent this space. And then we have refrigeration. So if you had any bottles or spirits that needed to be refrigerated, we'll get to the wine part later. But this entire wall runs on a 45-degree angle, and this is all smoked glass, which is a staple of Blue Heron design. Now coming over on this side, this is incredible as well. So warming up the space, once again, we have our wood veneer slats. Love what they did on this angle. So we have smoked glass with illumination that kind of transitions us into that limestone tile that we see. And again, we have the television display. But what I really love, normally you would do anything you could to avoid. What I love about this is the fact that these ceilings are only 8 feet high, which again, normally you want elevated ceilings in a luxury property. But what this does, especially when the sun goes down, is this creates a level of intimacy that you don't normally experience. This is where you want to be cozy, you want to hang out, you want to have those conversations. And once again, while we have a curtain wall window, we have a 23-foot slider that leads us into this backyard, and you'll see that the ceiling seamlessly goes into the backyard. It's this smooth concrete veneer for the ceiling, and again, that perfect accentuation. It just keeps the conversation going, keeps it flowing. I absolutely love it. And like I said, being in this space last week at an event, it really hits different. Over here, we have our wine closet, plenty of room for bottles. It is climate controlled. Again, if I don't say it's climate controlled, probably isn't, but this one is climate controlled, so that's wonderful. All right, now let's head a little bit farther down this direction and see a little bit more of this space, because one of the things that I really love is if you want, you can keep this entire wing, this area segregated. We do have a barn door, and it looks like it's actually part of the wall. So whether it's noise and you don't want the noise going over into children's bedrooms or other areas of the house, love that you have that option. Down here a little bit farther, we have our powder bathroom. So here, once again, we have that leathered marble. We have this beautiful above mount Toto sink, and even the fixtures. You're gonna see one later that I absolutely love, but even the fixtures are just wonderful. Love the separation. Over here, we have our toilet. We have 3D tile, absolutely sensational space. All right, coming down this direction a little bit farther, now it's time, let's go check out this office area. Another angle of this entry area with the pivot door, all the glass. Now this is an incredible executive office. As you saw, this entire wall is all glass. But what's really incredible is this. This is where your desk is supposed to be situated. We have electrical built into the floor, so this will be concealed by the apron side of your desk. And this is the most incredible sight line we alluded to earlier. So right here from your desk, you are looking at the entire Las Vegas Strip. And if we step a little bit closer, we have more electrical embedded into the floor. So if you did, say, want to have a television on a console or have it rise, you would be able to actually see the television, and above the television, still have views of the entire Las Vegas Strip. Over here, we have a closet, so if you do have office materials, you can utilize that closet for anything else you want. Now, over here to the left, we have one more bedroom to see. So we're gonna step up 2 steps and then check out this bedroom, because this is a really unique space unto itself. So first off, over here on this side, you're gonna see these 3 windows. These windows lead us into that entry that we walked up from the very beginning. This is technically where the bed's supposed to be situated, because the display is over there. If you don't mind an off-access television, this is incredible, because if this is where the bed is, you are looking directly through the front door and with those same views of the Las Vegas Strip. So an incredible sight line. But you'll be a little off access because this is for the Cat 6 and your electrical. Over here, we do have a closet. And then over here, we do have a bathroom, so making this ensuite. So in here, we have curbless entry to the shower, beautiful shower. Love, love, love the counter surface. We have this beautiful gray granite, sensational. All right, now that we have seen this area, let's go check out the other wing in the house and see what's going on over there. All right. Now we're gonna head down this corridor, because this leads us to an interesting room unto itself. You're gonna notice there's thermostats everywhere. We do have a coat closet here, and then opening this door leads us into, in this space, it's designed to be more of a gym. I would say this is a flex room, because you could use it for whatever you want. There is a closet when you first open the door, but I love this material. We've seen this before. It's a very, very unique texture that is kind of wick sweat proof. So this is perfect if this is gonna be a workout area. So Pilates reformers, cardio, whatever you want. You do have electrical on the wall, so that way you can watch television, have some tunes. But if you wanted to make this into a bedroom, you could certainly do that as well, because here we have a complete full bathroom. So again, curbless entry into the shower. We even have a window in the shower for some natural light. Beautiful counter surface, wonderful. And over here, we even have this double slider that leads us to that entry area. So if you wanted to bring in some more air, you can do so. All right, let's head down this direction and see a little bit more. All right, so now this area, if you look over here to the right, this is the pocket slider that led us directly into that chef's kitchen. So this is the area that you could keep closed to segregate. So if you do have guests coming down here to the powder bathroom that we're about to see, they don't have to actually see anyone in the chef's kitchen. Speaking of, let's check out this powder bathroom, because this might be my favorite part. So while we have a beautiful, beautiful counter surface, we have this great, great quartz. We have an integrated sink. We have a 6-inch edge profile, but check out this Groff faucet. This is one of the most beautiful, elegant faucets. I've lusted over this thing forever. This is sensational. And then you even have the controls on the counter space. Just wonderful. Luxury wallpaper over there by the toilet area. Absolutely incredible. All right, the primary suite is over here to the right, but first we're gonna come down this corridor. So we do have a coat closet here, and behind us, this door leads us to the garage. So this is a 6-car garage. So 3 bays, 6 cars. Of course, we have top of the line epoxy floors. We have 2 tankless water heaters. All the garage door openers are wall mounted, so no unsightly rails, much safer. Perfect, perfect, perfect garage for the enthusiast. Over in this direction, now let's check out this laundry room, because even the laundry room is wonderful. So coming down here, we do have our Blanco undermount sink. We have quartz counter surface, and then they've even framed in all of the washer dryer surround. So we have a drop zone so you can fold. Just a sensational laundry room. You gotta love that. All right, guys, we have seen virtually everything to see on this main floor except the primary suite. So let's come down here and check out the primary suite right now. So stepping in, you can see the sleeping quarters, but first we're gonna check out the bathroom. So coming into the bathroom, this is such a wonderful, wonderful area, and there's a bunch of unique features. So first, let's talk about this. We do have a slider. Obviously you can say hi to your neighbors, so you're gonna need a little foliage. We're working on it. We're just a couple years away. But what's neat is we do have a pathway. So if you did wanna come directly from the pool, you do have your ingress into your bathroom. So really lovely. But this is one of the coolest features that Blue Heron does. Anytime Blue Heron builds a property that has a view, so whether we're talking about shoreline out in Lake Las Vegas, or we're talking about McDonald Highlands, Roma Hills, or over here where we have these sensational city views, we do have this mirrored glass situation. So this is usually part of their Vegas modern package. So it's a part of a package for the bathroom when we're dealing with their Nexus line of production homes. But when you stand right here, I am looking at the entire city and it's flanked by this artificial turf. It's just an incredible view that you get to enjoy every single day when you start your day at your sink. So here, once again, we have a pivot integrated sink. We have our controls on the counter. We do have our integrated electrical pop-up area. And then we have dual faucets. So we have his and her area, and both of you can stare out and overlook the entire city. Now over here in this direction, we do have a beautiful floating bathtub. We do have the rocks. So once again, you can see outside here, we have our rocks and that biophilic design, bringing the outdoor into the property. Love that. We do have one water closet here. So we do have his and her toilets. We'll get to that in a moment. Now this is incredible. 2 minutes ago, this was actually steamed up because guess you, yours truly over here meant to turn the light on and turn on the steam function. So let me tell you, the steam works really, really well. But step into my office. All right, coming into this shower, massive shower. So we have this beautiful marble bench, beautiful linear stainless steel drain. Everything is perfectly angled right into the drain. Love what they did. For a while, Blue Heron was getting away from the rainfall shower heads. I'm glad to see the introduction. We brought them back. So we have 2 rainfall shower heads. We have 2 handhelds. And of course, we have our digital steam function, which it works. Trust me, it works. And of course, all of the valves are on the digital Kohler display system. So really, really neat. You can integrate it and just say, hey, Alexa, turn it to 130 degrees. And you can scald yourself in the shower and take that long, hot, tankless water heater shower. Over here, we have our makeup counter, so wonderful. And then once again, we have another water closet. And this is important because a lot of times Blue Heron in their custom homes, they'll have one water closet. That was a criticism I saw a few times. I'm glad to see that now that's kind of a standard protocol. Even here, we have this separation between the tile and the grade 5 drywall, and it's flanked with this illumination cutout, really neat. Now, if we come a little bit farther, now we enter into the closet, wonderful closet. Of course, it's all built in. We have a full length mirror over there, beautiful cabinetry. And then over here, we even have this sensational marble waterfall island. Hey, you gotta have waterfall somewhere in this house, right? Well, here's our modern waterfall island, tons of cabinetry, and we even have a pop-up electrical hub. So plug in and plug away. All right, all we have left is to see the sleeping quarters. So let's walk down this hallway a little bit. Let's see what's going on down here. Coming into the sleeping quarters, wonderful, wonderful intimate space. The first thing you're gonna notice here is we have this morning bar. And once again, this is that one-way mirror. So right now, what's kind of neat is now instead of the one-way glass where inside the bathroom we were looking at the strip, now we have a mirrored effect. Now I'm reflecting and seeing the entire city. So absolutely sensational execution both ways. We do have our undermount sink. We have embedded electrical into the counter surface. We do have refrigeration, everything you need to get your morning started right. You don't even have to walk to the kitchen, all the way to the kitchen. You can have your espresso here and start your day correctly. Now let's talk about the media wall. So once again, we have that beautiful limestone tile veneer. And I love what they did here, the juxtaposition between the cold tile and the warmth of the wood. So here, this media wall is composed of the same cabinetry that we saw in the kitchen, but underneath is this absolutely gorgeous Da Vinci glass fireplace, very romantic, makes the space intimate and beautiful and wonderful. And then of course, can't have modern design without a little bit of egress. So here we have another slider system. So I believe this one's 15 feet slider, but This leads us into that backyard. You can see that artificial turf, almost like the green carpet of success. Just watch where your money went. Your money bought you all these amazing views. All right, as much as I want to show you the backyard, we do have one more feature in this property, and that's upstairs, because we have 2 bedrooms. So meet me upstairs and let's knock out the upstairs so we can get to this amazing backyard. All right, guys, welcome to the 2nd floor. This, without a doubt, is going to be the most controversial part. In case you didn't notice, things are different. So here are the windows. It kind of gives me the feeling of the Upside Down and Stranger Things, because normally windows are waist high. Here we have windows that are waist low. Follow me. But if you squat down, you'll see this is that beautiful kind of atrium area that we have off the entry. But we're gonna start off in the 2nd bedroom first at the very end. So coming down here into this bedroom, to our right, we have a good sized closet that's a walk-in. And then we come over to this space. So again, very different. Maybe this would be awesome for a podcast where you're sitting down and you can see the entire strip. I kind of have to squat down a little bit in order to see out, but I will say the views, absolutely incredible. These are actually the best views in the entire house because you're elevated. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. Just a little angular and a little different. Coming over in this direction over here, we do have ensuite, so we do have a beautiful bathroom. So the same tile we had downstairs, curbless entry into the shower, beautiful shower surround, beautiful marble counter surface for the countertop for the sink. Wonderful. All right, now let's wrap around. Let's check out the other bedroom that's up here. Again, we do have thermostats for each individual bedroom. Wonderful feature so that everyone has their own temperature of comfort. Into this bedroom, we do have our walk-in closet, a little bit smaller over here to the left, but this is for the older kid. So I'm 6'1", and you can see over here at the extreme end, now I can stand up and I can see, but we are also right at the roof line. So unbelievable views. These are some of the best views that you will ever see anywhere in Las Vegas due to the elevation of this property. And we're overlooking the pool, absolutely wonderful. Ensuite once again, so over here we do have our bathroom, full bathroom. We have a little bit of a different counter surface and a little bit of a different shower surround, but once again we have the curbless entry into the shower. All right guys, we've seen the downstairs, we've seen the upstairs. I know you're waiting for that backyard, so without further ado, let's meet me outside, let's check out this backyard. All right, guys, welcome to the backyard. Ingress, egress. We have that 21-foot long slider with a 90-degree return of 10 feet. This is what modern living is at its very best. Now, we're gonna talk about the pool here in a moment, but first I wanna pivot over into this space and let's check out that primary suite that we just left earlier in the video, because this is incredible. We have the artificial turf that we discussed, but now you can see the slider from a different area and look at the reflection. So that's the view you're going to see every morning when you get ready, and you can clearly see right now its reflection on the entire city. And look, here's your money carpet, framing those views of the entire city. This is just incredible. We have this beautiful aggregate for the pavers and the walkways. And this is my absolute favorite perspective. From this view, you can see the kitchen, the family room, the lounge, the fire pit. This frames in the property so magnificently. I love it. But now let's talk about this pool, because Blue Heron did something very, very pragmatic and design focused. So if you're used to seeing my Blue Heron tours, which I recommend you watch some of them, there's a playlist all for the Blue Heron tours. You can acclimate yourself to your heart's content. But this looks very similar to what Blue Heron typically does, except in other incarnations, the pools were elevated 1 feet, maybe 2 feet, and then we would have this cascading water coming over the apron side. With the new restrictions of 600 surface feet, especially enforced in Henderson, that apron side counts negatively towards that square footage. So what Blue Heron did, which I think is actually an upgrade, is instead of having that apron, they made the pool larger, and now the water spills over and it looks like it's seamlessly embedded into the ground, completely flush. When the sun goes down, this has like a mirror-like image to it. It is so elegant, it is so cool. It's one of the first things people notice when they enter into this property. But now we're gonna come into this space because this is one of my favorite areas of the property. Once again, we have this intimate ceiling space, which leads us over here to the outdoor kitchen. Behind us is like that atrium with open air space, lovely. We have quartz counter surface, we have our Wolf barbecue, and of course we have a ventilation hood because above us is that ceiling. Very crucial, especially in summertime, so you don't have that 115, 110 degree heat and that sun beating down on you. Here you have a wonderful reprieve and some shade, and it's so intimate. It's just, like I said, you really have to be in the space to appreciate the level of intimacy and how different and unique this is for Las Vegas. Now behind us is the lounge that we started earlier in the video, and even this conversation pit with the shattered black glass is incredible. Guys, I'm dying to read your comments. What is your favorite aspect of this home? Because there's so much to love. Special thanks to everyone at Blue Heron, from the top, sales staff, everyone that I've ever been involved in has been class personified. So special thanks to you, Blue Heron. I look forward to doing more business with you in the future. So if you are interested, please holler at your boy. Anyhow, moving on, there's plenty more property tours to come. Check out the luxury report to learn more about what's going on in the luxury space. Click to like, click to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Deuces.